What the heck?
What is up, everybody, and welcome to the Backliners podcast. What a roaring start there from Vera.
What is up, everybody, and
It's
welcome
bag.
to
Oh my
the
god!
Backliners.
You're gonna hear a little double action as I forgot to mute the stream. I'm a little bit all over the place today. I'm not feeling at my best, so I'm gonna apologize in advance for whatever this episode ends up becoming.
So I literally just moved my desk up to like the standing height because my back was hurting a lot sitting. And right when you said one to like do the countdown, Luna missed the jump onto my desk, and I just hear like a loud like hit on my desk and then thud on the floor. And I'm like, what the heck? Like,
Yeah.
I,
That will
I
be
know
happening.
That happened.
That will be happening from time to time. Real quick before we get started, I do want to make a note. Our Patreon is up, patreon.com/backliners. I am going to connect to the Discord to it literally right after this. I wanted to do it today, but like I said, I'm not feeling very well. I took a little post-work nap. It didn't help. You know, do you ever take those naps and you're like, I'm going to feel so much better afterwards, and you wake up and you think, I should not have even napped. That was bad for me.
I'm not a napper. I can't sleep for some reason. I really want to be able to take a nap, but I just can't. Every time I go to lay down, I just stay there wide awake.
When was the last time you took a nap?
COVID, actually. And before that, it was like years.
Wow, that is crazy. I don't nap very often, but normally I've got a good feeling on if a nap is going to help or hurt me. My feeling was wrong on this one for sure. So apologies about that. We'll give a shout out to all of our patrons at the end of the episode. And thank you to everybody who's supported us over there. Again, patreon.com/backliners is the place to go for that. Okay, let's talk a little bit about SPL, shall we? Because it was week 1 of the SPL. Got kicked off once again. And I thought a pretty exciting week number 1. Some really good games, some close sets, even though there was only 1-1 set. I thought a lot of the teams looked pretty good. Our expectations on the Jade Dragons ended up being about accurate, as they clearly looked like the best team. But I suppose with it being week 1, it probably makes the most sense to go set by set. Obviously, won't be doing that as the phase goes on. But you know, we're getting back into it. We're dipping our toes in the water a little bit. So set number 1 of the week was the Oni Warriors up against the Atlantis Leviathans. Warriors finished this game down in kills, but with the win in game number 1, and then pretty much dominate game number 2 from the outset, if I remember correctly. What was your big takeaway from this set, Barry?
Game 1, I think they got the literal dream draft. I was on my way to the studios during game 1, but I heard they got like Emoja Guan, and
They did.
Those are some gods right now. Those do be some characters that you can't kill anymore. So yeah, I think whenever you give a team those gods, they're in for a rough spot unless you have a lot of counters, and I don't think Leviathans did. And I don't really remember game 2 too much because I was talking with my team before our set with the Titans.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, game 1, like you said, it was kind of just healer diff. 9,000 healing for Neil, 8,000 healing for Nika, 3,000 healing for Dardes on the Morrigan in mid.
Okay.
That is actually crazy. Is that number right?
I hope not. I hope someone just like
There's
plucked
no
the
way.
stats and just threw it there.
There's no way that man's did 3,400 healing as the Morrigan. What?
Yeah.
That is crazy.
And then also on top of the healing stat, I feel like with Fae Blues, what am I
Fae
saying?
Boost. Love Fae Boost. Fae Boost Heps. I love those things. Those things. One of those getting nerfed, am I right, everyone? Fae Boost Heps. Yep.
I don't know what happened to my brain when we started this podcast. Yeah, so I don't even know where I was going with that. What was I talking about?
The healing numbers are one thing, but Fae Boost, they bump it.
We need like a shielding number. Because I feel like that's more important than the healing right now. Because anytime you try to dive someone, they just get a little flower. And it's really hard to kill people, as we learned in the set right after this one.
Indeed, it is. Game number 2. The Oni Warriors again won this one pretty handily. Rongyu went Fenrir support with Lonos this game. Panatom got Naja both games, and Panatom has historically been a very good Naja player. And I remember there being a lot of talk coming into this week about how insane Naja was. I felt like Naja did not look that dominant overall on the weekend. I forget. I should pull up Blues Ultras stats.
I think it went 2 and 5.
Yeah, 2 and 5. Like not super great there for Naja, despite all the hype coming in. I'm almost.
I swear that god's still OP.
That does happen sometimes.
Ignore SPL stats. That god's OP. It's
Who was it? I think it was like Tiamat. Like when Tiamat was first available, she lost like a million games in a row, and it was like, yeah, this will regress back. Like, there's no way that this is where it's gonna stay. You think it's a situation like that?
Yeah, from playing against that guy in ranked and just getting one shot, I got sashed today for 724, so that was a cool number to take damage from.
Did you deserve it?
I did, and then he ulted me and I died. And it felt like, honestly, it's not even a bad feeling because I kind of enjoy it. Okay, maybe I'm like a masochist or something, but I like when assassins are like in the meta because team fights and everything becomes more spicy. I guess like I will take assassin metas over the Erlong Osiris metas anytime.
Any day of the week, no doubt.
Those metas are just so boring. Like I would much rather die and like be given the chance to counterplay. Well, that being said, I did just play a ranked game against Pantom's Dodgy where he got super fed and one-shot me and Vin 18 times in a row.
Nothing you can do about that.
Sometimes it's not the best experience, but I still think it's a better meta. But yeah, I do think Naja is in a good spot, and I think competitively, I think you need like the right draft around Naja. I don't think she can be like first picked most of the time. Like I feel like you need like a bit of a structure around her. And I think that, yeah, I just think Naja's better than Gotcha.
Yep. Only 2 and 5. Not as good, but highest pick rate jungler. Overall, going to do better than that. I think is a fair thing to say. You good, Bear? You look kind of you got a little flustered all of a sudden.
The Faye Blue
Faye Blue steps.
My brain's not gonna work this whole episode. I apologize.
Well, that's perfect.
This episode turns into.
The good news is that your mobile service will work because you use Mint Mobile. Am I right, Barra? Holy crap!
Right,
I was so worried. My brain is so not working today, and I was like, I have no idea what my transition's gonna be. And then I heard
force it.
There was just this little opening, and I'm grabbing it. So here we are. Mint Mobile, of course, you know them, you love them. They provide premium wireless service for just $15 a month. Barra and Destiny use them. They love them. They got 3 inches taller after starting to use Mint Mobile. I looked over and you were gone from your camera shot, and I was really worried that you collapsed and I totally missed it. I was like, what is going on, man? I was just gonna be talking about Mint Mobile until I saw the paramedics come in and start reviving you on your cam. Where were we about Mint Mobile? Yeah, unlimited talk and text and high-speed data on the largest 5G network. And if Barra did theoretically pass out, Destiny could very easily call 911 using Mint Mobile. And that call quality would be top-notch. Am I right, Barry?
Absolutely perfect call quality. They'd be right here in 3 seconds. And then I could tell them how great my wireless service is while they're reviving me off of the floor.
And they'd be like, man, I'm sure that's going to be so expensive, though. And you'd be like, not really.
No. For only $15 a month.
Well, they've got to use our code in order to get that premium wireless for only $15 a month. So what you could say is this is Barra on the stretcher going into the ambulance. To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped straight to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/backliners. That's mintmobile.com/backliners. And then they'd slam the door. You threw up? What?
I just threw up in the back of my mouth. Okay, maybe I shouldn't stand up during podcasts.
And then he'd throw, and then he would throw up, and then he'd say, "Cut your wireless bill at $15 a month at mintmobile.com/backliners." Holy cow!
Oh my goodness.
Where am I, man? This is insane.
Oh,
all right,
so sweaty.
Titans versus Bolts. Don't actually pass out on me now, because this bit's gonna get way worse. Yeah, the this set, Baskin's re-debut back into the SPL. Obviously didn't go the way you guys were hoping. It was a 2-0 for the Titans, but
it went way better than we thought it would.
Okay, well then it sounds like it went better. That's good.
So I thought we were gonna get absolutely stomped. Based off of our scrims, we've kind of just been all over the place lately, like absolutely crazy. And I was like, I mean, you kind of just go in, you're like, hopefully we play good, but I mean, most likely, I think we're gonna get stomped. And then we actually we're in winning positions over and over again, and we had no idea what to do with those apparently. So we tossed those right in the fire.
Yeah.
Game 2, I died in my Huilt cast animation, and then they ended the game. Game 1, I don't even remember what happened, but we something happened and we lost that one too. But I'm pretty sure we got.
Oh yeah, didn't you guys absolutely hard int one of these games, or was that the next set?
Yeah, that was game 2. Well, maybe it was the next. I don't know. There was a lot of inting going on. Let's see what happened. Game 1.
Game 1, you played Cupid.
Oh yeah, no, our team fights were it was atrocious. There was no way to win a team fight against that draft late game, because I have no targets as Cupid. We Cupid Disco into Terra, Kama, Thor, Vulcan set. So we literally have no targets from our backline to hit, literally none. And Cupid into 0 frontline targets that you can really, because obviously I don't want to ult and blow all of my buttons on Terra. I mean 2 of my buttons on Terra, but you get it.
Right.
Because that's not going to feel good. Then we also couldn't pull fire, because then we just get Thor dunked, and they have 3 blinks to go in. And then we have to worry about Vulcan ult too, and we couldn't really get value off of Ymir Wall either, because if we go on the Terra, then they just dive us after the Terra, either dies or doesn't die, so we kind of had no solution in the late game to do anything. So game 1 was just a wash once we hit late game. The game 2 was very winnable the whole time, then we just threw it at the end, which I don't really care about those. Not even saying oh yeah, I don't care. But I genuinely thought that we were just gonna get hard stomped, and those games were actually good games.
Yeah, you did the hard part. That's getting in winning position.
Yeah.
That's the hard part.
We got a little excited. We're Titan, and then I'm I shot the sun. Oh, I shot my microphone. I shot the suns, and then I died, and I literally couldn't press any relic, and yeah. Anyways, it was a good set from us, in my opinion.
Yeah. A happy 2-0 loss, which you don't always see, but we take those when we can get them. Dragons versus Solar Scarabs. If I remember correctly, I was golfing with one Neil Ma during this set, and we were kind of tuning in when we got the chance. You should golf, Barra. I don't have enough friends down here who golf.
I don't think I would enjoy golfing.
Why not?
Well, it seems like a very boring thing to do.
It's not. It's not boring at all. It's you get to spend time outside, which I know you love.
I do actually enjoy that.
And there's maybe no better. There are very few better feelings on earth than hitting a golf ball with a big piece of metal and watching it fly through the air really straight. That is
you
the
actually
best.
Watch it?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. You got some good eyes.
It's the best. You would like it. Come golfing with us next time. There you go. Okay. We'll see you there.
Well, once my back fixes, I'm down to do
Oh, yeah. It will absolutely annihilate your back. You got to be careful.
Okay, I'm in the building blocks of readjusting my back into a screwed up position. So block by block, we're getting there.
Next summer, man, you're in there for sure. We'll give you the time on that. So game 2 that the Scarabs had a lead. It looked like
against us.
No, against the Dragons. And the Dragons came back in this one, I think it was.
But I think Scarabs got hard stomped by. Oh no! You're right. Game 1 was a hard stomp by Dragons, and then game 2 was the scratless mid.
Yes, and the Najah
And
jungle from Pagon.
yeah, and this game was really close. Scarabs could have won it, and then I think they threw in a late game team fight,
Yeah,
and that was just the game, I think.
yeah,
Also,
tough
Scream
loss
did
there.
crazy damage. I think it was that game where he dropped like 32k
Yep,
or
almost
something.
30, almost 33, 32.9. No one else surpassed 26.
Which is just a bad feeling for everyone else in that game.
Yeah, that does feel bad. Like Baronic's on AMC, and he's the one who did 26. And AMC like never gets out damaged. And I didn't watch the set to know, watch the game close enough to see if Baronic was messing up and not getting more damage than Scream, but probably not. I mean, the damage in this game is just fairly low across the board, except for Baronic and Scream on the Scratless mid. Can I just say, by the way, one of the best bits going right now in all of Smite is Scream's dad replying to like quotes of Scream that are stupid with the
Oh no.
turtle. It's so funny. If you haven't seen it, Bear, I know you're not on Twitter very often, but it is absolutely phenomenal. It's so funny. I absolutely love it. Yeah, what do you think about this Atlas mid for Scream and Najah jungle for Pagon? Because they did it again later in the weekend, I believe.
Yeah, I think they did against Kings.
Yeah.
Just it's
I don't. That's why I asked.
I think Scream is just a perfect individual. So you need to build
Wow.
team comps around him, and you need to let your superstar, shine. And I feel like Pagon, is the right guy for the job. And he's just like, sir, take my mid lane, do whatever you need to. I'll go jungle for you, and it works. So I don't really know what to say. Like I don't know what's going on right now in SPLI.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't know why it's a thing or what's so good about it. I mean, it does a lot of damage and can one shot and all that stuff, but I don't
Sure.
get why like that over like a traditional comp. Because I feel like if you have Naja on your team and you're like,
Well, why
throw
why
like
does Scream need to be the one to play it? That's my question. You know?
well, I mean, that's just the Scratless,
Right. Yeah, I don't know. Look, I think that I'm historically, if people remember my takes when I was casting and takes on this podcast, I am really into the idea of being very flexible with your draft, putting things like Atlas and mid with this type of build if you think it's good against certain matchups. I loved seeing all these assassin mids, like Ven played a Pele mid game where he popped off. I thought that was really awesome. Big fan of all of that. And even the swapping of mid to like ADC, like if you're playing an ADC in duo or a mage in duo and an ADC in mid, like swapping your hunter and your mage player in those instances, like I'm cool with that because those are similar roles in your team fight and your team structure. I have a hard time getting fully behind this. I just have a hard time believing that this is the best setup for the Dragons in the long term. Like Pagon's a mid laner, like it's just such a different role, and it would be better served absolutely perfecting it beyond any reasonable doubt, right? Look, it's fun, it's exciting, it's cool. I'm not trying to old man yell at clouds here. All I'm saying is that I don't think that Scream playing mid on certain gods and Pagon playing jungle on other certain gods is the most conducive to winning a world championship. That's my general feeling on it.
Yeah, I just feel like I'm on a different boat than they are. They're playing the same game than I am, but their boat looks way different than mine does. So that's I'm just along for the ride, I think, and I'm just hopefully it goes good for them. And I do think it changes the way they draft, and it also changes the way you need to draft against them.
Sure.
But I don't really know why.
But does it, Barra? Because like if they just play if Pagon just plays Atlas mid and Scream plays Najah jungle, is that any different drafting against them than it is drafting against it when they swap?
I mean, I I don't know. Look, if Pagon can't play Atlas mid and you want an Atlas mid, then Scream's your guy.
I guess, man. I guess. I don't know. That's what I mean. Like, if you think the Atlas mid is good, just Pagon should just practice it until he can play it. And we know Scream can play Naja, so that's not it. If they're convinced that Atlas mid is broken, then I think that they should just ask Pagon to really work on it. That would be my general feeling. Mm-hmm. I think I'm going to run it down in a ranked game with Atlas mid right after this podcast. I think that's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
I want to see how it is.
Tune into twitch.tv/aggro for the.
Nope, I won't be streaming. Because I'm just going to run it down and lose and call it a night. So I'm not
like, this god is terrible. Why did I do this?
Well, I'm definitely not saying that. Atlas is a good god, that's for sure. Okay, let's go to the next set. It was Kings Valks. I did not get a chance to watch this one a whole lot, but seemed like a pretty common Kings W. Captain Twig played Erlong.
These games put me to sleep. I'll be honest. This was like watching the old school like EU versus EU matchups of like nothing happens the whole game. Mm-hmm. I think that was the case game 1 and game 2. I'm pretty sure there was a bit more action, a bit more fighting, but yeah, just classic Kings dub in my opinion.
Yep. Very, very standard for them. Leviathans and Tartarus Titans was the opening set. This one I thought was really big because I think that with how the Leviathans looked on Friday, getting absolutely crushed by the Warriors, if they came in, I mean, I was expecting the Titans to play very well in this set and to beat the Leviathans based on how these two teams looked on Friday, but I think that this was a much bigger win than just one in the win column for the Leviathans. I think starting off 0-2, if they had looked bad in both those opening sets, this is a team with Steve on it, so he's gonna be a veteran presence regardless, and I'm sure that he would be able to tell the team, not the end of the world, just one weekend, like who cares? But still, I think that it would have been certainly too early to panic. But I think that Leviathans fans would have been worried if they had gotten 0-2'd how convincing the Oni Warriors loss was in particular. But Leviathans really stepped up in this set, and they made it look pretty easy, especially in game 1.
I just wish Spinner played Nox and Alderun against us, and not Vulcan and Freya.
Yeah, those are more traditional.
I had to drive to the studios, and then I saw Spinner dash with a wave, get first blood, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Here I go. Time to go, I guess, so I don't be late. I didn't really understand their drafting this set. Titans, it just seemed a little YOLO-y, a little pick whatever we want. I mean, to be fair, I feel like Dragons are kind of doing the same thing, just like seeing what works. I feel like most teams are kind of doing that, just kind of feeling out the water, feeling out the meta right now, because I think it's a little undecided since summer.
Yeah. Big win here for the Leviathans.
The Kumba first pick,
Kumba is good, I think.
Yeah!
But
so good.
Wow, that was aggressive.
Yeah, sorry, that was way louder than I thought.
Yeah. All right, you guys versus the Scarabs, the 1-2-1 set of the weekend. Run me through it here, Barry.
Losers. Game 1, we were kind of just scrimming them and being crazy and running it down for fun. I was literally just fraying on people, holding W. I don't really remember game 2 too much. I think that was a bit of a blur. I think I played Freya again.
You did.
I don't remember what happened game 2.
Yeah, Pele last was 11-4-9 on Pele. So he was going off. But the rest of the team did not go off quite as much, it seems.
Oh, no, we messed up our draft. I remember that. Okay, we're going to skip to talking about that one, because I just remember what happened. So yeah, our draft was terrible game 2. That was an awful game. And then
it was,
game 3...
For those of you at home, it was Freya, Pele, Horus, top 3, and then Tyr, Thoth, bottom 2.
Yeah, that draft was awful.
Yeah, I don't love this. I'm not in love with this Thoth pick.
Yeah.
I actually hate this. I hate it. Up against their team.
No. Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Hades, Naja, Atlas, Merlin, Cupid.
Uh huh.
Yeah, I don't want to play Thoth against that team at all.
Yeah, that was not a great draft by us. And then game three, I think our draft was way better. We killed Yark and Lane, and then I was just a fed Artemis. And I think I kept Stu out long enough to where he didn't go trans. He went Dom instead. So I don't think that was too great. I just don't like Dom as an item. I feel like it's. I don't know what it is about Dom, but that item just feels terrible every time I buy it.
It's got to
Which,
be that it doesn't have attack speed, right? Because the stats on this are insane. Like, I don't think that.
that's what I think every time I buy it, and then I'm like, every time I buy that, I'm just like, I do 0 damage.
Yeah, it's got to be just the lack of attack speed. But Stu has a lot of attack speed in the rest of this build.
No, like I'm just talking about like as a base item. Like it just feels bad. Like I don't want it over trans. I don't want it over Devos. I don't want it over Ichevol. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. I don't know. I mean, they're like on hunters that aren't hitting Silver Branch passive. Um, it is certainly just better if they were at the same amount of attack speed, but because it has 0 attack speed and Silver Branch has a bunch, it's really hard for that to happen. Like 30% attack speed on Silver Branch makes all the difference in the world, I think, on dominance. That's my only, because I agree, like it doesn't feel very good when I build it either. And I don't, but I look at the stats and I'm like, holy crap, this is so good. Like this is everything a hunter wants except attack speed, and that's the big thing.
Yeah, I feel like it's like a good Titan's Vein replacement, or at least it used to be. But now I honestly think Titan's Vein is just better than Dom right now. So I think Dom is just in a weird spot. I think it's the worst pin item, like behind Xe, Titans, and Silver Branch. I don't know if it needs. I don't know if Dom needs buffs. Maybe like a 5 power buff, but
It's already
there's
55 power.
yeah. It should be good. It should feel
I know.
good.
I know. That's what
And
I keep
then-
saying too. I'm with you.
I just don't know where to slot it in my build. Like if you start with a power item, then you don't want to go Dom later, I feel. I don't know,
Right.
I did see. I think Netroid went Dom into Xe this weekend on Hu Yi, if my memory serves me correctly. So that was interesting.
Yeah.
I mean that seems like a whole. Like I'm gonna mark somebody, ricochet them, we're gonna kill them in like 5 seconds.
Right. Yeah. Stu went Dom into Odysseus bow in this game, and that just can't be right. Like Xe has got to be better in that second slot than
I
Odysseus
think he
bow.
just didn't go Oba, or he didn't go Xe because he already had Dom. It's like, do I really want to go that much penetration early? Like, that can't be right. Probably
Yeah,
in
but do
his
you really
mind,
want to
but-
buy a 0 power item second? Like, probably not.
Yeah,
Like, that's when
'cause
power
Dom-
is the most valuable, right?
Yeah, because Dom isn't the highest power, so if you go Dom first, you're like not doing as much damage as you feel like you should with an Oboe.
Right.
I think that's just what makes Dom weird. Is like it's just weird to slot into builds right now. I think.
Yeah. I don't disagree. Unfort for young dominance. Was game 1 the game that Ven went Pele mid? Yeah, Pele mid,
Yep.
10, 5, and 8. That's dope. This was a dope team comp from you guys. Atlas support, Freya ADC, Hades solo, Rat jungle, Pele mid. I watched a little bit of this game and I was pogging off the whole time. I was loving this team comp.
Yeah, we kind of just smorked and it worked. I mean, we had a lot of like misplays in the early mid game. It wasn't like the cleanest smorking, but I think we're just like trying to redefine our playstyle since Haddix left. So we're just trying to like figure out what we want to work on and what kind of style we want to play. So kind of just a lot of experimenting from us for a while, I think, and just kind of figuring out what's good because we have plenty of time before Worlds. So
Yep.
yeah.
Plus, you get a big old Kronos pendant here in the back of Jake's build. You know, 6 item.
Really?
Yeah, I got a 6 item
Didn't
Kronos
see
pendant.
that.
Yeah,
Nice.
nice. Yeah, that's good. We love to see that. Yeah, basket with a nice little tainted breastplate. That's a big time pickup right there. And then the final set of the weekend, the Jade Dragons up against the Camelot Kings. This was supposed to be the set between the two teams with the highest expectations, I would say, for Phase 3. And it was not close. The
Yeah, I didn't get to
Dragons
see this set, so
just crushed them. I watched a little bit of it back, and man, like the Dragons, they just do it to them sometimes. That the early pressure is has been their calling card historically, and they continued to do that basically. The early pressure was just really really strong. And again, Scratless in the mid lane.
yep.
Went big, 509, top player damage in the whole set or in the whole game. What more could you possibly ask for?
Jeez. Yeah, I think that ult can literally like do 900 to 1k to someone, and it's a really annoying ult to backline and just like walk out of
Yep.
because it lasts for so long on the ground. So yeah, there might be something in this Scratless gameplay.
Yeah, I wonder at what point they decide that it's the Scratless game, because they fourth picked it post bans. They top pick a Willix, and then that goes to Pagon. He goes 8-1-8 in the jungle, which again, like that's dope, and obviously Pagon's a Willix support, has run ranked many time before, but. It's not the gods, It's not the gods that bothers me. It's the swapping. Like jungle and mid are just so different positions. Like, surely you're better off just keeping them where they are.
Yeah, I have no idea honestly. They're just some wild gamers over there.
They are indeed some wild gamers. Speaking of wild, Barra, do you know that we have a wild deal that our podcast listeners and viewers? You didn't know this? Where have you been? We've been giving wild deals out all the time. This one, though, is from Factor. Factor, of course, one of our favorite sponsors, because they give us delicious, easy to eat, and no cleanup food, which is like basically the best thing ever. And now we've got a brand new code, so hold on to your butts, because it's gonna be a new code here in a second.
I grabbed mine. Okay,
please keep holding. Fall is officially here, and with a new season comes a new routine. But if you're like me, you get sick of the same old day after day. That is really true, Factor. That is true. I can't eat the same meal every day for lunch or like dinner. Like Joe.
What about for breakfast?
Nope, not that one either. Joe could eat the same. She has like if there are like 3 meals she's really been vibing with recently that we're making, she could eat one of those same 3 meals every day for a month straight. Not me.
Yeah, I'm kind of on her page of like, as long as I don't eat the same meal twice in the same day, I can eat the same meal for like a month straight.
Really? If you had like 3 dinners that you were just alternating between, you could stick with those 3 for like a month?
Yep.
Not
100%.
me, dude.
I'm a... never mind. You can keep going.
A creature of habit? Is that what you're going for?
That wasn't what I was thinking of, but thank you. You saved me.
You're welcome. That's what I'm here to do. Yeah, not me. If we make a dinner, I don't want to eat that same dinner that we made for like 2 weeks. I can't. Yeah, it's rough. It is tough.
What do you guys eat together?
We figured it out. But you know what I do eat for lunch that really solves this is Factor, because they've got so many meal options. I'm not even trolling. Where is it? 30 plus meals per week, and those are the options. And there are some absolute heaters here as well, like 3 bean vegan chili, Barra, that one's from you. Apple mustard pork chop, that sounds really good. And Tuscan tomato chicken, that sounds excellent. I definitely should order that one. You get to just keep it on. And if you're like Barra, and that you want to just eat the same thing, you can just keep getting the same meals. But if you're like me and constantly need to change, what is Destiny? Does Destiny, is she cool eating the same thing? I wonder if it's an ADHD thing.
She is not the biggest leftover eater. She'll go through periods. Sorry, I'm very burpy. She'll go through periods of wanting to eat the same thing. Like right now, we have like a crazy good Asian dish that we've been cooking, and it is so good and so filling and so healthy. And we've just been going to town on that. So she'll eat that, but if it was like something else that she's like, I would say like 60 to 70% like she likes, she won't eat it again for a while. She's like you in that regard. It needs to be like a 90 to like 100, like in love with tier to like eat it again consistently.
Interesting. Yeah, sometimes I'll be like, man, I want some more of that, but it's pretty rare. Anyways, when things get busy, Factor's also flexible. Change up your order every week with plans from 4 to 18 meals per week, or pause and reschedule your deliveries every time. So here's the big thing right here. I also should mention that they don't just have ready-to-eat meals. They also have cold-pressed juices, smoothies, energy bites, extra protein, veggie sides, and more to keep me going during my busiest season. I read ahead. So here's the new code. This is very important. Head to go.factor75.com. That's all the same. / that's also the same. Backliners 60. A little bit different now. Backliners 60. Use Backliners 60 to get 60% off your first box. You have to pay less than half on your first box. What can be better than that? That's code Backliners 60 at go.factor75.com /backliners 60 to get 60% off your first box. Thank you to Factor, of course, for being a part of the show. All right, Barra, this weekend coming up here for the SPL. Let's take a quick look at the matchups. You guys versus the Valkyries.
And Leviathans.
And you guys versus the Leviathans. What do you need to come out of this week at 2-2? You're sitting at 1-1 right now. You know, if you come out at 1-3, is that a disappointment? What are the expectations for you guys this week?
Honestly, I don't really care if we win or lose as long as I feel like we're playing good. And I feel like I feel like we have a lot of issues right now in terms of like what we want to play and like play styles and kind of how we want to function on the map. And I feel like I don't really care if we come out of this weekend like 1-3, as long as we are kind of not like catching Baskin up, because Baskin is already like mechanically like insane.
Mm-hmm.
But it's more of just kind of aligning him and like Jake and Lass together, and then trying to figure out like what Vin wants to play, what I want to play, and then also what's good in the meta. So yeah, I don't really care if we come out 1-3 or like 2-2 or like even 3-1. Like I'll probably feel the same about all of those.
Mm-hmm.
Awkwardly enough, because I'm very like relaxed and I have a lot of confidence in the team long run for this phase. So yeah, I don't really care how this weekend goes. I mean, I assume hopefully we'll beat Valks, and then I think against Leviathans we'll struggle. I mean, we historically have struggled against them in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think if I was to give you a prediction, I think we'd go 2-2 or
be overall 2-2.
After this weekend, yeah, it'd be 2-2.
Right.
Yeah, if we end up 1-3, it's fine.
Fair enough. I think that the team I'm going to be watching this weekend is the Oni Warriors. They obviously looked quite good in their early matchup up against the Atlantis Leviathans. They play the Dragons and the Kings, the two top teams by everyone's estimation coming into this phase. So big weekend for the Oni Warriors. If they somehow come out of this 3-0, they would be obviously one of the teams to beat. A lot of talk on Reddit, by the way, about whether or not what the Dragons' record would look like by the end of the phase, and if they are they already in a position where they look like they're about to run the table. If I had to give you, if you were a betting man, Barra, would you bet that the Dragons would run how confident are you that, give me a percentage chance that the Dragons go undefeated in phase 3?
Very low.
I would agree. I would say 15% is too high. So I'm going to go 10%.
I'd give it a 0% chance. There's no way that's going to happen.
0%.
There's no way they don't lose a single game the rest of phase 3. There's no way.
A single match, not 2-0s the whole way through. I agree. There's no way they do that. 0% that they don't drop a single game.
Yeah.
Dropping a single match.
I still think it's 0% at that. A lot of teams have just started scrimming, and
right.
I do agree. I think the gap right now between Dragons and their teams is massive. But I think as the phase goes on and people get more adjusted to how the Dragons are playing this phase and their style, I think people adapt to them much better than they are right now. I mean, it's really only been 1 week. I don't think this is like a crazy thing to say the other teams are going to get better and like catch up.
Right. That's fair. All right, well, that's going to do it for the podcast this week. Again, a little bit of a shorter one. Apologies, and apologies for my sniffing throughout the episode and that kind of stuff. Feeling a little under the weather. I do have to ask a random question of the week that is not from our patrons, because I am a lazy pile of human garbage and was unable to get it all set up in time for today. But I will be setting that up, the Discord linking immediately after this episode. So if you want to be a part of our exclusive community Discord and get a lot of other cool perks, head on over to patreon.com/backliners. We'll be starting the post-podcast hangouts next week. A lot of the other cool benefits there as well. We're already on it, so let's do that right now. Want to give a quick shout out to all of our patrons who have joined so far. So shout outs to Elsa, Julian, Mish, Orchid, Schmitty, Seafog, Dylan, Death Range 07, Bio, Silent Shadows, Michael, and Evan. Thank you everybody for being. We got a good amount, Barry.
I thought there'd be like 2.
Yeah, good. Thank you too. Bara's mom, that one patron. Yeah, Bara's mom. Thank you. Yeah, no. Big shout out to all of our patrons for helping support the show and help us directly. Again, if you also want to support the show, you can do it by heading over to patreon.com/backliners, or by interacting with our sponsors is a great way to do it. So mintmobile.com/backliners and go.factor75.com/backliners60 are also good ways to support the podcast. Right, random question of the week. Barrow, I think we've done this before, I'm sure, at some point, but who cares?
Most likely.
When I get under the weather, when I start feeling sick, I start to crave 2 things that aren't, like, obviously I want soup. That's like what I had for dinner tonight, all that kind of stuff. That's all very normal. The weird things that I start to crave, I always want hot wings when I don't feel well.
Interesting.
I don't know why. Even before I started liking hot wings a lot, I would just want something. I feel like it's just to clear out my sinuses, to like get that big spice burst. And that starts sounding good to me.
How hot are you talking?
Not like I can't breathe hot, but like
okay,
I've got to have a glass of water next to me. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Excuse me. And the other thing that I crave, this one's less weird, I swear, I think, is ginger ale. My dad would always give me ginger ale whenever I was sick when I was a kid, and so I start instantly craving ginger ale as soon as I start feeling crappy. I should get some in case I feel bad for tomorrow. What about you, Barry? What are your go-tos when you're starting to feel a little sick?
I don't really have anything, so I'm gonna steal Destiny's, which is also ginger ale. Literally, the slightest thing could go wrong, and she's like, "John, can you go to the store and give me ginger ale? John,
yep.
Please, I need ginger ale." And I mean, for me, I don't really crave anything, but like,
that's crazy. You're sick way more often than me or Destiny. Like, surely, actually, I don't know how often Destiny's sick, but you're sick way more often.
She's been sick a lot because right now at her job, there's like, I swear, someone gets sick in her, like, she's a supervisor. Mm-hmm. Someone gets sick in her team like once a week, like. There's nonstop. I don't know if it's because of COVID and like people immunities are down for whatever reason, but people are getting sick nonstop now. And also from the Bring Me the Horizon show we went to, Lynn got the flu, and so now Destiny's feeling bad. So we think Destiny is like coming down with the flu.
Yep.
And I got my flu shot a few weeks ago, and I've been feeling weird for like 3 to 4 days. Not like sick. But like awkward, I guess. I don't know what the correct terminology is. I can't tell if I'm sick. I don't think I'm sick, but I feel weird. Yeah. But also I've been dealing with back pain for like 2 weeks now, so I think that could be the same thing. But yeah, I don't really crave. Wait, no. Okay, so this is gonna be the most stupid answer, but
love this.
So from being like a child to like a teenager, I think it's like bread and water. for some reason.
That sounds like exactly what you like all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want like comfort food, so when I get sick, it's like my mom would always make me like butter and cinnamon sugar toast.
Dude, I literally had some of that last night, and it was
And
banging.
yeah, you can't feel bad when you're eating like bugger.
Bugger, yep. Then you just log on to Smite and you get some fade
Yep.
blue steps, and you're good to go.
You call nausea a girl. Like,
Yep. All
bro,
over
I
the
don't
place.
know what
Yep.
this episode is. It's just so nice. It's like slightly toasted. The butter is like in between melted and like firm.
It's so good.
And then you just have cinnamon sugar on top of it, but like not too much cinnamon sugar.
Nope, you just got to do the light little dusting so that it sinks into the butter. That's what you're looking for, is it for it to sink into the butter.
I'm literally gonna go downstairs. My mouth is actually like
Yep.
salivating. So
How about this,
hard.
Barry? I'm gonna be linking our Patreon Discord. I'm also gonna make some cinnamon sugar toast because that sounds delicious. And then we can, once people start to link their Discords through Patreon, we will post some pictures of our cinnamon sugar bread in the Discord to share with everybody to show the proper amount of toasting and of cinnamon sugar level. Because that's the
Honestly,
key to it.
I'm pretty sure Destiny's actually sick, so I need to be making a lot of toast for her. So it'll be like 4 slices of cinnamon sugar toast in that Discord in about 5 minutes.
Well, there you go. Make sure you're heading on over to patreon.com/backliners to get in on that. Thanks for listening, everybody. Make sure you're checking out all of all of Prediction's great shows. They've got a bunch of different shows across a bunch of different esports that you can check out. I also think that they recently launched a little shorts show for esports news and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to get up to the minute, I don't know how often they do it, so maybe it's not, maybe it's once a week or something like that. Who knows? I don't know what's going on. But make sure you're checking them out. They're always doing great work over there. So we'll catch you next week here when we talk a little bit more about the SPL and something else. Go ahead.
I'm ruining your transition, but I'm 4-0 in fantasy football.
Let's go. What? You are? I'm
Let's
1-3. My team is dog. I'm terrible. This is how it always goes. Everyone who plays fantasy sports knows the person who knows the least is going to end up having one of the best teams. It is the law of fantasy sports. That is always how it works.
And I'm like barely winning against everyone.
Yep.
Like if I was playing someone else, I would be getting stomped.
Yep.
But every week I'm like winning by like less than a point, I think.
Well, Vera,
It's
I
a
hope
miracle.
everyone on your team stays healthy and nothing goes wrong. I mean that
Okay,
sincerely.
thanks-
I mean
thanks
that
for
sincerely.
listening.
I mean it
Okay,
sincerely.
that's
Okay,
correct.
I
Thanks.
really hope, Vera. I hope
don't
you
know
go
how to swap out
undefeated.
players.
Man, bye weeks are gonna be tough for you. Do you know what a bye week is, Vera?
I assume someone's not playing that week, so let's call it a bye.
Holy crap, this guy's a genius. No wonder he's
I'm a genius.
No wonder he's
Let's
4-0. Thanks everyone for watching and listening. We'll catch you next time. Vera, you know what to do.
Bye.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
The episode
That's
got
sweet.
weird, but that was a strong finish from you.
Yeah, I dropped the whole episode, but that was a pretty good finish by me.
Imagine saying Faye Blue Steps and then